Hi, I'm Tim Litton from WaterFurnace. Welcome to Ask the Experts. Aren't the newest generation of heat pumps just as efficient as geothermal? A geothermal heating and cooling system is actually a type of heat pump. It's often called a ground source heat pump or a geothermal heat pump because it uses the ground as a heat exchanger. What most people generically refer to as a heat pump is technically an air source heat pump because it exchanges heat with the air. The two technologies are alike in a lot of ways. The biggest difference building owners see is that you'll pay less heating and cooling with geothermal than any other technology. Geothermal has continued to advance and is still more than twice as efficient as the most efficient air source heat pumps on the market today, especially in cold weather. You may have heard air source manufacturers calling their latest generation of heat pumps cold climate heat pumps. But the truth is, a water furnace unit is still the ultimate cold climate heat pump. It's physics. A geothermal system will always be more efficient than an air source heat pump because the heat exchanger is installed below the frost line where it stays roughly 55 degrees year-round, so the unit never sees extreme outdoor temperatures. To cool your home in the summer, a geothermal unit moves heat from inside your house and deposits it into the relatively cool 55-degree ground. An air source heat pump, on the other hand, will always have to work harder because it has to try and expel heat from your house into an air that's sometimes 100 degrees or more. The summer air is less willing to accept heat, and the result is that an air source heat pump loses efficiency more and more the hotter it gets outside. To heat your home in the winter, a geothermal unit collects heat from the now relatively warm 55-degree ground and uses a compressor to concentrate and raise that heat to room temperature. An air source heat pump, meanwhile, will always have to work harder because it has to collect heat from frigid outdoor air. There's less heat available, and the result is that an air source heat pump loses efficiency more and more as temperatures go down. And below certain temperatures, air source heat pumps need to use supplemental electric resistance heat to give it a boost, similar to a toaster, which increases operating costs. The latest generation of variable speed geothermal units have nearly eliminated the need for any supplemental heat sources. In fact, we call the heat strips that ship with our variable speed units emergency heat rather than supplemental heat because they're more of a safety net in the unlikely event that there's an issue with the compressor. And from an aesthetic standpoint, geothermal units don't require ugly outdoor equipment that freezes up in the winter or constantly buzzes and roars during the summer. That means geothermal units are not subjected to being clogged up by dirt and debris, which lowers an air source heat pump's efficiency every year. A geothermal unit's heat exchanger is protected underground, so it isn't exposed to leaves or snow or critters or rowdy kids, which is why a geothermal heat pump lasts 40% longer than other HVAC technologies. Indoors, there's no ugly wall units or expensive refrigerant running throughout your home. We circulate heat energy using air and water, which are safe and abundant. In fact, you already have water pipes throughout your home today. And from an air quality standpoint, thanks to larger air returns, slower air speeds, and better filters, geothermal provides better air quality and also wrings out more moisture than other systems. Those are a few reasons why more and more people around the world are choosing a water furnace geothermal heat pump over an air source heat pump or a fossil fuel furnace. Visit waterfurnace.com if you want to learn more or to connect with a geothermal concierge who can walk you through a short needs assessment, answer your questions, provide a ballpark estimate, and if you decide that geothermal makes sense for you, they can connect you to the best local dealer for the details of your specific project. Or if you have a question, leave it in the comments and maybe we'll answer yours in future episodes. Thanks for watching this episode of Ask the Experts.